are fields of greens. This is another one of those super food products that Holly had discussed previously. And this goes into the idea that with today's really busy lifestyles and the convenience of fast foods, we very often forget to eat fresh green foods. And even if you are eating fresh green foods with salads and broccoli and that are green, most of us don't eat grasses. I know I don't. Sometimes I'll put those alfalfa sprouts on my salad, but it's not very often that you get those grasses and sit there and chew on grasses. But it's become very popular when you go to the juicing places where they'll juice wheatgrass and barley grass for you. So this is a more convenient way than having to stop and get your wheatgrass juice or your barley grass juice. We're looking at it in our Fields of Green product. And so this is our Forever Living simple solution to convenience eating with our Fields of Greens. With this unique formula, we actually start with a base of wheatgrass and barley grass. And these grasses are very often thought of as those superfoods because they are nutrient dense. They're loaded with those nutrients. In addition to having vitamins and minerals, these grasses also have a number of other nutrients that are called phytonutrients or plant nutrients. And one of these plant nutrients is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a substance that actually gives the wheatgrass and barley grass their really deep green color. And it's also a great antioxidant. And I'm not sure how many of you have been to some of those juicing places, but they very often grow their wheatgrass in a tray. But if you look at the grasses that are grown naturally in the soil, they actually have a much deeper green color. And that's because it's that chlorophyll that's in there. And the chlorophyll is much more concentrated when you grow that wheatgrass or barley grass in soil as opposed to the tray. That's not to say the trays are bad, but you get a lot more concentration of that wheatgrass and that chlorophyll and those nutrients when it gets to be that darker, deeper green. And that's what we've put into our Fields of Greens tablets. And so if any of you have ever seen them and you look at them, they're a really dark green. And that is coming from those natural dark green grasses, the wheatgrass and the barley grass. Barley grass is actually used worldwide in soups and stews and making barley bread. It also gets used a lot for making malted milk, wine, and beer, but beer isn't really where you want to go find your super nutrients. We want the actual barley grass. And if you look at the history of barley grass, it has a very, very long history. Its usage dates back to 7000 BC. And it's even believed that some of the ancient gladiators used barley grass to boost their strength and endurance when they were competing in those competitions. We also, in our Fields of Greens, we have alfalfa. In addition to these grasses, the barley and wheatgrass, we also have alfalfa. And the alfalfa is part of the legume family, but it's also considered an herb, and many people put it on their salads. But it is actually something that's been prized for its superior content of vitamins and minerals and protein for a long time in the animal nutrition industry as well. And it is used a lot for animal feed sources, and there's many, many studies showing that the animals that eat this alfalfa are stronger and healthier animals. And humans, we can eat the alfalfa grass as well. And it's usually consumed in a supplement like our Fields of Greens or as the sprouts that you put on your salads, or some people might like to just eat them straight. But they are super nutrient dense, and that goes along with our superfoods that we have in our Forever Living product line. Some of the things that are really unique about our barley grass and our wheatgrass and our alfalfa is where we source them from. We actually, with our grasses and our alfalfa, went to the experts in our nutrient sources, and we went to the leading experts in green superfoods. And they use actually a patented dual zone low temperature dryer. So it's a patented way of actually how they get those grass. So those grasses are grown in really nutrient dense soil to put all those great nutrients in there, make them that deep dark green color. And then they are harvested, and they go through a drying process to turn them into a powder. If you don't do the drying the right way, you lose some of those nutrients. But our experts that we work with to get these raw materials from actually have patented a process that uses low temperature, so we're not destroying those nutrients, and that maximize the nutritional value of those grasses. And then we've added to that a little bit of cayenne and a little bit of honey. And cayenne is that chili pepper, so it's going to give you that pop of antioxidants that goes in there and give you a little bit of spice. If you really taste it, you'll get just a hint of spice. I like spicy, but don't worry if you don't like spicy, you're not going to have too much spice when you taste the fields of greens, and you can either swallow it or chew it. When you look at the history of chili, it's another one of those North American, South American botanicals that has a long history. And it's another one that has been used for over 9,000 years. There are records dating back to 7,000 BC of people eating cayenne peppers and using them not only for food, but for their wonderful health properties that they have to them. And they have this extra antioxidant support for healthy circulation and healthy digestion. We've also added just a little bit of honey that provides an extra energy boost in taking the fields of greens, but it is also what we use as our glue, basically. In holding all those green powders together, you've got to have something that makes it stick together. And we wanted to use something that is nutritionally sound, as well as being something that can help bind all of these nutrients together. And that's what this honey is. And if any of you have ever been on a tour of Forever Nutraceuticals, you'll see that when we make this product, it goes through what's called a granulation step. So after we've blended all of these wonderful grasses together in our blender, then it goes into a different blender where we pour the liquid honey over the top. And then that makes it so it's all nice and sticky. It gets spread out on trays to where then it can be dried. And again, it's temperature controlled and moisture controlled. All of our quality steps are in place. And then that helps make it so that it can be stuck together when we put it in that tablet press. So we try to use natural ingredients as much as we possibly can in building these products. So when you look at the ingredient list of our fields of greens, it is really a cornucopia of green foods for your body. It is just that excellent green food source for you. So it's a fantastic product to add to your diet and your supplementation program to give you that little extra green grasses for you.